Hello and welcome back to the True Transformation Summit. This is week 2. In this week, we are diving into everything body related, from food freedom to hormones to somatic healing in the nervous system and so many other topics within those topics. Before we dive into all of our beautiful experts, I just want to talk for a minute about the role of the body in true transformation and why I included an entire week all about the body. So honestly, this is one of the most overlooked pieces, and thankfully, it's being talked about more now. Of course, we have our experts and they are sharing, the power of the body from different aspects and nourishing the body, healing the body, expressing through the body, and all of that. So we have these experts thankfully talking about it, but out there in the world of transformation, it's still a newer piece. I feel like it's been really overlooked. And in my own life, if you've tuned into this podcast before, if you have, come along on my journey at all, you may have heard me talk about this, but it was definitely overlooked in my life. I have been doing self-growth since I was, at least 14, reading self-growth books, going to counseling, therapy, and then taking courses and more books and studying with mentors and guides. And I've really, been through so much where I've learned and continue to learn about self-growth, the mind, the different parts of ourselves, even spirituality. I've been a channel since I was young, so I've been always really interested in the soul and the soul's evolution and energetics. And through all that, I've obviously learned a lot. And you may see yourself in that journey where there's different aspects of self-growth that you know a lot about, and probably lots of different aspects, things you have learned, things you have uncovered over your time. But for me, the body was overlooked, especially when it came to growth and healing and manifestation. I thought that the body would fall into the end result piece. Like, when I do all the things, then I'm going to feel good in my body, or I'm going to feel at ease, or my pain's going to start to heal. I'm going to feel confident in my skin. I'm going to love my body. I'm going to love my weight or my shape or whatever. I always thought that was the end result. That was the goal. I didn't realize that it was actually part of a massive part of the path to get to where you say you're headed, to get to the success, to get to the abundance. The body is such a portal, such a powerful piece of it. So eventually, everything has to land in the body. And that's why I devoted a whole week to this. That's why I brought in these experts, because you can have the vision, you can know the mindset work, you can understand the manifestation. And as we talked about last week, even with the mind, it is so important. And I know you have that deep desire for change and you understand a lot of this stuff, but if your body is not on board, it becomes extremely difficult / impossible to actually hold the life you're trying to create. And this week, we're going to dive deeper into what it means to hold a frequency or to hold success in your nervous system. I'll talk about it here a little bit too. But this was something I had to really learn deeply myself. So in my own journey, and especially I share all about it in my book, The Delicate Art of Transformation, which was the whole inspiration behind this whole summit. The book follows my story, follows my growth story, along with the cycle of the butterfly, going from a caterpillar into a butterfly. So in the book, we follow the path of my body journey and healing journey. So I talk a lot more in depth about that in the book. But if I'm being honest, my body has been the biggest struggle I've faced. And I didn't realize that. For years, I approached my body from a perspective of trying to fix it, trying to control it. I think back to my eating disorder days. That was more than a decade of my life. It was really bad. I was really consumed, and that was all about control. In my life, I've tried to shrink it. I've tried to fight my body. I've tried to push it. I've tried to desperately ask it questions. I've tried to override it. I've tried to numb it. I've tried to do all the things. I've also tried in my mind and through education to heal it, but Under all of that, what I didn't realize was the belief that if I could finally change my body, then I would finally feel confident or calm or relaxed or successful or free. So whether the changing my body was about weight or about pain or about not feeling so sensitive, about being able to handle energy and not be overwhelmed all the time, overstimulated, and I'll get into it in a second, but there was lots of different ways that I suffered in my body. It wasn't all just weight or body image. It was pain. It was the way I was in my skin. I did not like being in my shell. So I was always trying to change it through nutrition, through a fast, through a cleanse, through finding the right supplements, through in my eating disorder trying to lose weight. But the thing about it is I didn't realize that I was constantly living in stress. And now that I understand the nervous system so much more, I've been living in dysregulation or in a stress response for probably just my entire life, to be honest. So I know I'm not alone in that. I know so many of my clients, this has been a missing piece. This is something that is now become the focus of my work because we have to manifest from the inside. We have to create joy from the inside, and that starts with our body. So many people are secretly living, and I know my clients have been secretly living in dynamics where they feel like it's them against their body. So if you're listening to this and you're resonating and you're tuning into Body Week, if you've been feeling this, you're not alone. So if you've struggled with sensitivity, as I'm saying, energetic sensitivity, you're an empath or you're a highly sensitive person. Maybe you've struggled with weight, food, hormones, exhaustion, dysregulation, maybe a nervous system that constantly feels stressed, or feel kind of calm and then frazzled in 2 seconds. Maybe it's pain, maybe it's inflammation, maybe it's burnout, it's exhaustion, it's emotional overwhelm, any of these things and anything else related. And if you feel these things, it is so hard to feel these things while simultaneously trying to build a beautiful life built in joy and abundance and freedom and confidence and play, right? So we're trying to create all these things while being disconnected from the very vessel that carries us to those things and through those things. And that's what I eventually realized. And that's why I'm so excited to bring in these experts and for my own work moving forward and for all of our journeys moving forward. Because what I realized is that the body is not the obstacle. My body was not stubborn, was not broken, was not working against me. My body is the portal. My body is the place of transformation. Because when you strip it all back, whether you're talking about healing or abundance or success in your business or manifestation or healing relationships in your life or confidence or ease or joy or love or anything else, these are not just ideas. These are experiences. Have you ever been to a fancy restaurant or on an expensive vacation or in a really nice dress, or even on a date, or anything that on the outside seems like flashy and, maybe it's really expensive or whatever, yet you felt horrible inside? Even just one dinner where, you really just did not feel good. You were in your head, but you were eating like lobster. Or maybe you moved into a house, but in that house, even though it was so expensive and you moved mountains to get in there, you're having anxiety, or you're still second guessing your life or feeling insecure in your body. Why I'm saying this is that the fancy stuff, the success, the clients, the money, all of that does not bring us what we are actually looking for. We are looking to experience healing, abundance, joy, confidence, love. So we experience these things in the body. We experience joy in the body. We experience peace in the body. We even experience wealth and abundance and freedom in the body. Manifestation, as I talked about, even as I was talking more about manifestation in my work the last couple of years, it started changing more and more and more to you manifest from the inside. Manifestation is not just about getting something, it's about becoming available for a new experience in life. It's about shifting your energy, your frequency into a more desired state, and that happens through the body. So if your body is constantly dysregulated or inflamed or exhausted, or you're disconnected from it, you feel like you're working against it, basically if you can relate to any of these things, it becomes very difficult to be a match and to hold what we want. Now, when you hear that, some of you are going to think, okay, or maybe even feel, okay, then I need to be more high vibe. Like, oh yeah, I do suffer with that. I must not be a match for what I want. So this is where we can't add shame or shoulds or like, okay, scrambly, what's the magic formula? We have to just come back into our body. And if you're looking to actually take the work into real life, these experts have some incredible gifts this week. They are experts. They can help you. You can work with them. I also have a brand new body program coming up that you can check in the show notes to get on the wait list or register, depending on when you're listening to this, that is this work. So you are not alone. Whether you listen to these episodes and everything starts to click into place, or you join my program, or you work with one of these people, grab their free gifts, you are not alone. And this is the missing piece. It becomes very difficult to hold the things we say we want, to hold the emotion of joy, to actually experience high levels of gratitude and peace and bliss. This becomes very difficult when our body is in chronic stress. When your nervous system is in chronic stress, it is so hard to attract steady success. So trying to create success while being completely disconnected or in pain and discomfort in your body, from body image to pain to immune system to any of these things we're talking about, is like a tug of war inside. Feeling confident while actively at war with yourself or fighting parts of yourself or anxiously, feeling like there's something wrong with you. We cannot keep working against our body and being really secretly uncomfortable in our body while asking it to carry us into the next level. The body has to come with us. I really, truly believe that this is part of our evolution. A lot of us old souls, a lot of us intuitives, or, those of us on a self-growth path, we can overlook the body for so long and be like, but I'm going for it, but I'm healing wounds, but I'm starting businesses, but I'm, quitting my day job, or I'm, doing this crazy cool thing. I'm traveling, I'm doing the stuff. But we can only do that for so long before learning how to communicate and come back into the body, because the body is giving us signals. So as I'm talking about fatigue and pain and body image, or feeling puffy, or just feeling like your body does not match the effort you put in, or what you really want for yourself and what you feel like you're really trying to do, your body is communicating with you through fatigue, through cravings, through tension, through symptoms, through emotions, through sensitivity, through intuition, through energy. Your body is always speaking. That pain in the low back is telling you something is misaligned or tense. When you have a headache, it could be dehydration. It could be something going on with your neck. These are simple facts, right? If your stomach is gurgling, it probably means you're hungry. Our body is always giving us signals. So when we feel really off in our body, there's also a piece of it of learning to work along with your body and listen to it. Because this is a huge piece of the puzzle. Are you listening? The body is speaking. And in my pain healing journey, I was always looking really big, like one supplement that's going to change it all. Or maybe I need to do physio, it's going to change my life. Or maybe it's this turmeric drink, or, the one thing. But I was ignoring the constant tension, the lack of movement intentionally, the lack of mobility, the not doing things I love, like hiking and yoga and walking and stretching and foam rolling. It's like I wasn't looking right in front of me. I was always looking at the mountains, at the big fancy thing that I was hoping was going to fix it all. But I wasn't looking right in front of me. Drinking water now, nervous system regulation now. Because I truly believe that the body is the portal to your thriving, and then the portal to your manifestation, the portal to your health, the portal to your abundance and success and attracting clients and attracting, miracles and just living a life you love. The body is the portal, and we need to move out of functioning and surviving and into thriving. Because you've created a lot of cool shit from surviving and from functioning, but it is time to thrive. Imagine what is possible if you were in that dream body. And again, I don't just mean weight. I mean vitality, aliveness, energy, flexibility, just a body that carries you around and does the things that you want to do, a body that you feel grateful for, that you work with. That's what I mean by dream body. So I'm so passionate about this body focused work. I'm so passionate about these experts this week because this truly is the key. And even as you take this into next week with abundance and wealth and success and into your life, the body has to come. And I'm so passionate about it because I am now experiencing the results of this work. I have made more change in my life and in my body in the past 6 months than I have my entire life. And I'm not just saying that to be flashy. It's because all the things I had learned, as I was just speaking about, all these different levels of growth and healing and emotional awareness and wounds and all this stuff, it all came together and landed by bringing the body piece in. It's almost like you go to plant a flower and you have the soil and you have the seed and the soil even has nutrients and you have the sunlight, and all these independent parts are all part of the equation. But when you water it, that is what it allows. Like, it allows the nutrients to come out of the soil. It allows the seed to crack open and start to germinate and to sprout roots. It brings it all together. So it's not better than, it's just that when we've done all that work, but we're not thriving in our life, in our bank account, and in our body, this is the missing piece. And since August, I have released over 40 pounds of weight, less puff, less bloat. My digestion is just like, there's no issues. I was having so many digestive issues for the last, bunch of years, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Was it gluten? Was it this? Was it that? What was I eating? And everything started to come into place. The weight literally was falling off. That's never happened before. Even when I was in my eating disorder, I've never had something where it felt like what was no longer needed was able to fall away, and that was in weight. I also found that the inflammation and my pain cycles are dramatically less. My highs, as far as the pain like peaks, they're not as high. It doesn't get as bad, and it lasts, hours when it normally would have lasted days or maybe even weeks. I also feel way less sensitive in the way of overwhelm and overstimulation. I have tools now. I know how to prepare myself and regulate on the spot. I don't feel as up and down. I feel more emotionally steady with my kids, with my business, with my life, with stress, with things going on. I'm steadier. I've released weight. I've released inflammation. I've released pain. My digestion is functioning well. I don't feel too sensitive, and truly, I'm starting to thrive in my body for the first time ever. This is the power of this work. This program I'm creating is bringing this all together, from nutrition to movement to nervous system to learning how to listen, read, and communicate with your body. It's going to be incredible. So make sure to get on the wait list. You can look in the show notes. And this week, again, you're going to hear from some incredible experts around the nervous system, somatic healing, embodiment, hormones, nourishment, food freedom, intuitive eating, movement, life force energy, and holistic healing for your body. Ultimately, healing your relationship with your body and helping you thrive from all these different perspectives, different expertise, all these beautiful speakers. I just can't wait for everything we're going to experience in this week and everything moving forward. So this week, I really want you to slow down, enjoy, listen to the episodes, tune into your body, try not to judge your body, try not to criticize it, try to just be with it. Try to listen to it and nourish it. Just water and rest and some sunlight and some gentle movement, and tune back into your body. And if you want help, make sure to look at the program again in the show notes, because this is where we thrive. If I could turn my relationship around with my body and weight and pain from the time I was 14, you guys, pain from the time I was 14, and body image issues from the time I was 7. If I can do that at 42 years old, I know you can do this. So as we wrap up this episode, ask yourself and ask your body, what does my body, or just asking directly to your body, what do you actually need from me right now? And just be with the answers that come up. It might be rest, nourishment, support, softness, movement, peace. And listen to it. Try to do one thing that your body's telling you to do right now. All right, I hope you have a great week. If you want more on this, make sure to order a copy of my book, The Delicate Art of Transformation, and let's dive into week 2.